on, everybody? Kwaku here, back with another video. Today I have for you a new build of Windows 11 in the dev channel, and as you know from following this channel, if you've been following it this whole time, I only release videos on the dev channel updates when there's something I can actually show you that there was a change versus just a simple blog post reading. So this time it has a minor change, and that change really comes in the volume slider, so the volume flyout rather. So if you notice, when I drag through the volume, you notice that ignore the jerkiness of it, it's just my keyboard being weird, but the volume slider actually does things, and it looks different now. You see now it's at the bottom of near your taskbar pretty much. Now, one thing I can say is I don't know how I feel about this, because kind of right now what I don't like about it is that it's kind of annoying to see it all the way down there, turn your head down, because typically I'm looking forward at my screen, just looking forward, and when I want to change if I have a volume slider on my computer, which I do on my keyboard, or if I have it on a laptop, I typically just expect it to be on the top left or in the middle towards the top, kind of at eye level. But now I have to drag my eye down again into another element that's going to be near the taskbar. And to me, that's kind of annoying. So Microsoft, one thing I can definitely say is I kind of wish that you could maybe move it around. Let's say put it in settings and allow you to change the position of where the volume is. Let's say position volume slider or volume flyout up. Or maybe by default, move it to the middle, on the top middle of your screen for everybody, and then let a power user feature come in play in the settings app that no normal person uses, and allow you to move it anywhere. Let's say the right, left, right, top right, wherever. Maybe that'll be a pretty interesting thing, a good thing to do. The other thing that's been around in some of the builds already, but I still don't have access to it, is kind of the flyout here for, or the slider here for the weather. I don't have a weather widget here on the left side of my taskbar. So if you don't see it on my screen here, it's just because I don't have access to it still. It's kind of A and B tested still. And then the other thing is the Your Phone experience. Got a slight update in that there's a new call dialog or call screen, which I'll show you in the blog post in just a second. In that calling just looks different now. I don't use it to call, and I couldn't show you just for privacy reasons, but that changed. But I'll show you the picture of what Microsoft put in their blog post. And then one last thing Microsoft said that I noticed that stood out a lot was in the settings here. In the settings application, they said that there's a blank entry under Bluetooth and devices. So if I scroll down, you can see here, this is just a gear icon for settings, and it's blank. If you click it, there is a check off and check on, but it doesn't appear to do anything. I'm not sure yet. The build just finished. So that's just what Microsoft says, that they know that's a known issue, and so they're looking at that, especially since it's such a visual thing, just a random blank entry there. So that is the major stuff. Now let's go into the blog post and actually take a look at some of the changes. Like I said, they said that there's a new calls experience for the Your Phone app, and also they are providing ISOs for this build, new ISOs for this build. So if you are a person who likes to fresh install, you see that in the dev channel, we do have 22533 now that you can directly install onto your machine or your virtual machine and be automatically up to this latest version without having to wait through the update process. You can just do that, fresh install. All right, going through more, you said some changes, improvements. Like I said, they updated the flyout design for hardware indicators for brightness and volume, camera privacy, camera on and off, and airplane mode to align with Windows 11's design. So all of those things have been updated. In fact, I'm curious now for airplane mode. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I see there. In fact, one thing I do notice here is that there's a weird thing going on here where the location icon and the keyboard icon are kind of overlapped. So that's a weird thing. But let me turn off airplane mode so I can get some Wi-Fi back on. So now going through further, even more, it does say more. It says you can now search for voice access from the taskbar and pin voice access to your taskbar or start like other items. So if you know what voice access is, I made a video separately for that. Basically allows you to control your Windows 11 computer with your voice. So it's pretty cool when I tried it out. So if I type in voice access, theoretically it should be there, which is true. It is right there, and they give it an icon and everything. That's good. All right, going through even more, they added some more extending 13 touch input themes to the IMEs. In the emoji panel, and then when you press Windows key X or right click the start icon, it will now just say installed apps in the menu instead of apps and features. So let's make sure that I have that enabled. Let's see. I should see installed apps. Yes, it does. And I can see that. So if I click it, it goes to settings and shows me everything I have installed. That's pretty good. And it's now possible to uninstall the clock app if you want. So basically, if I click start and I type in clock, oops, not click, but clock, it is now possible to uninstall a clock app if you never use it. And then they have a bunch of known issues here, which again, I'll have you guys read through on your own time. One thing is the Wi-Fi icon should appear more reliability is one of the fixes they have. And then there's a whole bunch of other things here. Now, one thing that they did not add in terms of fixes is the file system error. In fact, one thing, let me just make sure. I know normally I check this before I do the video, but no. So before, when on the last build that I had, there was a file system error that would pop up every single time I would turn on the computer. I would have to hit OK, and then it would go away, and then that's it. But it looks like that thing stopped coming up as of installing this build. So that's something that was probably very few people noticed, and so they didn't include it in the blog post. It wasn't a major issue. So that is there too. So other than that, it's a pretty good update. It's a pretty solid update. There isn't too much. There isn't too much in it other than some cosmetic details and things like that. And by the way, this new Flyout, you can in fact drag it around. And just let you know once again, with this build, even if you don't like this volume Flyout, still, there's still the infamous modern Flyouts where if you click it and you open it up, it's free. You get the new Flyout that was made by a separate entity that's not related to Microsoft at all. I made a video for that. I'll put it in. You'll probably see it on the screen, and then I'll put it in the description box for you to take a look at. All of that stuff happened in this build 22533. This is, I believe, my first build of 2022 that I'm covering. So stay tuned for more of those things. Hopefully we'll see more and more kind of changes as pretty much Windows 11 goes into year one, the full year one of Windows 11, 1 year in Windows. So basically, yeah, stay tuned for more. I hear there's some changes coming. My name is Kwaku, and one last thing I wanted to say was that everybody's watching this. There's a Discord channel or a Discord server available for next Windows, so you can go ahead and join that. There's talk about the latest builds, hardware stuff, a bunch of fun stuff that'll be on there as it gets built up more and more people join. Right now it's pretty quiet because there's not many people on there. It's like less than 10, but as more people join, obviously the conversation will grow. So stay tuned, and also check a look at that. Obviously it's free because I'm cheap. And take care, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic evening.